Hi, welcome to this short video about how to paragraph and where did paragraphs come from. Let's get started. To begin, let's look back in history. There we go. I'll give you a little hint. It's the year 200 CE, Common Era, which used to commonly be called AD. We're in Greece. And writers decided they needed a way to show that another person was speaking in a written text, specifically plays, where there's multiple characters talking. We need a way to show that this is a new person talking and it's confusing. All the words are jumbled up. Because before, what they wrote, the way people wrote was called scriptio continua. Take a look there. All the letters, look, there's no spaces for letters, there's no punctuation, there's no line breaks. You just start writing and you don't stop until you're done with what you have to say. But they started using symbols to show that a new person was talking. So this was written by, there's a bust of him. We think he might have looked like this. He's a Greek playwright named Menander, and he wrote this. He decided to start using some symbols. Notice where the arrows are pointing. What do you see there? Those are underlines. He used just a little dash to show that a new speaker the speaker was changing. This is one person, this is another person. This is one person, this is another person. And this is the first step to the paragraph we have now. Okay, so let's follow with the evolution. So everyone said, great idea, use symbols. Oh, make a little mark. But then everybody made up their own symbol. That got really confusing. You never knew. What does that symbol mean? Is it a squiggle? Is it a mistake? What is that? So eventually people said, okay. Let's use the same symbol. Let's agree. And they came up with this guy. You recognize that guy? This is called the Pillcrow. Pillcrow. And the origin of that name is fascinating, and it shows how much language changes. So this is a quote from Smithsonian Magazine, the Pillcrow. The derivation of its name is as complex as its form. It originally comes from the Greek paragraphos, right? Paragraph, that's where we get the word paragraph, which means beside and to write beside, because you write this little symbol beside your writing. And then this led to the French word paragraph. Great, I recognize that. Which then became telegraph, which then became telegraph, which somehow transformed in Middle English into pillcraft. And then it became Pillcrow. Language is crazy. Okay. So here is an excerpt from a text from around the year 1500. And what do you notice on there but our good old friend, the Pillcrow? This is an old version of the Pillcrow. It doesn't have the legs standing down, but it has the top part. Again, there was evolution. So that's when that was what that was showing you. That was showing you a paragraph break. These are very short paragraphs in this particular text. This author wanted a lot of short paragraphs. Okay, so what about today? Why don't we use that symbol anymore? Well, when the printing press was invented, they just started a new line when there was a new paragraph. That was very easy because all the letters were lined up. They could just jump down to the next line. But then to put that symbol in, they had to hire an illustrator. And so they had to leave a blank space and then hire an illustrator, and the illustrator had to sit there painting the symbols in. That just took too long. They wanted to sell books. People were hungry for their books. So they said, you know what, let's just forget the symbol, but they left the blank space. So notice here, we start a new line right here after me. We jump to a new line, but then there's this blank space. Do you ever think why we have that blank space? Remember when you were in elementary school and they tell you 2 fingers? That is where the Pillcrow used to go. So it's like the Pillcrow is a ghost that haunts all your books. Okay. So now this is the way they look. The printing press gave us the new line, the line jump, where instead of continuing writing right here, they jump to the next line. And that little blank space, we can thank the Pillcrow for. He gave us a little blank space, but it does help the eye to notice that there's been a change. Okay, so that's where it came from. Why do we need them? Why not go back to that scriptio continua? Just write it all together. Because paragraphs are digestible clusters. I really love those 2 words. Digestible means you can eat it, and clusters means groups or bits or bites. That's from a person named Grant Shreve. So you can't eat a cake in all one bite. You need to put it in bites. You need clusters that you can digest. Okay. So we take a big idea and we break it into smaller pieces so that we can process it and take it in and understand. Another way to think about paragraphs is a collection of sentences with unity of purpose. So a little collection that are united around something. And I thought that made me think about organization. So I found this amazing photograph of somebody who did beautiful organization. That's what paragraphs do. They put the pens together and the markers together and the rulers together. Okay. So what I tell students is paragraphs show changes, shifts, or something new. Paragraphs show time jumps, right? Time is passing. It's a new time. It's tomorrow. It's 5 minutes. The bell is ringing. I'm going to lunch. Time changes. Location changes. If I walk from the dining room to the kitchen, new paragraph to show new place. A new thought. If suddenly I remember that I am late for a doctor's appointment, that should be a new paragraph. If I do a paragraph break, it tells the reader something new is happening. A new person. If somebody walks in the room, start a new paragraph. If somebody starts talking who hadn't been talking before, new paragraph. We know that from the rules of dialogue. We always have a new paragraph when there's a new speaker. That helps the reader keep straight. Oh, that was Jane, that was Sally. That was Jane, that was Sally. That was Jane, that was Sally. That's what paragraphs do. Paragraphs also give the brain a break. I see this turned in sometimes. I want you just to check in with yourself. How does this make your brain feel when you look at it? It makes me feel tired. It makes me think, oh my God, it's going to be so long. I can't do it. But then when I see this, I see, oh, it's 3 topics. I get a little break in between. I might take a breath. And then I'm going to see the next one. And then I'm going to see the next one. This one makes my brain feel a little more organized. I'm not as overwhelmed. It doesn't seem like so much to take in. So thank you for this presentation on where the paragraph came from and what its job is. There'll be another video where I go through a story of mine where I actually didn't add any paragraph breaks. I wrote it as one big block, and I'm going to show you how to think about where to put those paragraph breaks in. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.